Hello and welcome back to the It's Time podcast. I'm Mariah. That is Kaylee. You can't laugh every single time.
That one was just so fast. Hello and welcome back to the It's Time podcast.
I feel like if I do it fast, I get over with.
Yeah, just
like,
rip off the Band-Aid.
Like, okay,
it's done.
We're done. Like,
moving on.
You know what this is? You know.
You clicked on it. You know.
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh.
You're welcome.
The devil.
I'm good. I feel like I'm still kind of coming off a high from yesterday. Yeah, life is good. I did homework all morning. That wasn't fun. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I feel a high from yesterday, but more tired now than anything. I mean, I like laid down on my bed and I was like, hey, I have so much to do. Like last night, I was like, can't go to bed yet, and I just passed out. It's like,
I love that for you though.
It's
you
a lot.
Needed that.
Yeah, but then I have to get up and like do all the things that I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I had to. I like woke up in the middle of the night to do all my before bed things because I can't sleep through the night until I do all the things that I have to do.
Yeah.
My mouth tape wasn't on. Can't sleep without it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like completely changed my life. So I have like lots
you
of
are
steps.
big into your nighttime routine lately.
Huge into it.
Meanwhile, I can just like sit down anywhere and fall asleep.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, but the thing is I can't nap. I can fall asleep.
Oh.
But I'm not a good napper.
So if you fall asleep, then you're gonna get that like weird cranky thing.
Yeah.
I always do if I take a nap.
I'm really cranky if I take a nap. Like
I get so cranky if I take a nap.
even if I try to do like what is it, like 22 minutes or something is supposed to be the perfect nap. Even then, I wake up and I'm like, what year is it? Where am I? Fuck you.
If anyone speaks to me, I'm like, the fuck are you talking to?
The eyes.
But yeah, so yesterday was amazing.
It was so amazing.
We had our event with Sea Grape Apothecary, who are so amazing. I mean, as a business, as a brand, and just everyone that works there, it's like you have to be like an amazing person to work there, I guess. And they were all so wonderful and so involved and excited about it. And
they're so knowledgeable too. I mean, we're still so new at all of this. They're like, do you have an idea of what you want to do, or do you want us to take the lead? And we're like, you take the lead.
Like,
they
you
were
take
like,
the lead,
okay,
please.
Here's what we're thinking for flow, and like made way more sense than what we were thinking. And it was
a
just
great success.
They were like beyond generous, and it was so much fun. And everybody like bought things when they left, which made me so happy.
So if you didn't know, this is like, why do I always feel have the urge to be like this? Hey, what's going on?
What if one day you just fall?
I hope it happens, honestly. I feel like we're at like a weird growth point where I do feel like we have a good mix of people who have like been around for a minute, and then like I feel like we have new people all the time. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, there's yet to be a thing where there hasn't been someone new.
I think,
which is great.
Yeah, but I mean, for for the brand itself, the podcast, It's Time, like Portland Girls Gays and These, everything is just like new people coming in, listening to the podcast, which is so cool, and then joining the group and coming to events and stuff. But I think like maybe in the next few episodes, maybe we'll do like a little get to know us better, because we used to do those every so often. For that reason of like new people, and we haven't done that in a really long time, so I think it could be fun to kind of like give a little backstory again. So I think maybe we'll do that soon. And
I know, isn't it crazy how drastically it changes?
Can we just take a moment?
You intro that song.
That's all I could play without the copyright. Let's just take a moment and thank the Queen Mother for blessing us with the Song of the Summer.
What would Sabrina Carpenter do?
So for anyone who is like maybe new to the space or whatever, so we have our podcast called It's Time, obviously, and we talk about literally anything and everything, and that led to a group called the Portland Girls Gays and These, and we've been hosting events since February. Mm-hmm. And that's just led to meeting so many cool people in Portland, other business owners, female queer people, that are so amazing. And so yesterday we did our first like co-hosted event with Sea Grape Apothecary, which is literally the coolest witchy store you could ever go to.
If you live in Portland, you have to go.
Yeah, did a little shopping myself, and it was just so fun, and I think everyone that came really, really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Vibes were immaculate.
But yeah, so thank you to everyone who came. We'll definitely do more events with Sea Grape and more events just with other businesses in Portland, other groups in Portland. Yeah, and we have our next meetup in a few weeks. Okay, so today we're going to react to crazy stories. Unless, do we have any more to add?
I don't think so.
We're going to react to crazy stories that you sent in. Starting with trauma. I almost just said from. It's anonymous.
Anon.
First up. Ready?
Oh, I'm so ready. Why did that sound so sarcastic? Oh, I'm
so ready. Long story, but when I had just turned 18, I joined a Christian program where I lived with 55 other college-ish aged people in a lodge in the mountains of California. We took Bible classes, went on mission trips, and worked at a Christian camp on the weekends for free. Here are some highlights. I love this.
It's giving cold.
Yeah. Signed a lifestyle contract, promising not to drink, be in, or start a new relationship, no music or media, movies, TV, YouTube, etc. Every meal we all ate together. No one was allowed to enter the dining hall until we all raised our pinkies and recited a prayer in Hebrew. Was forced to street evangelize in LA and almost got abducted. Some of the girls I was with almost got trafficked in Mexico on a mission trip. One time they took us all out into the woods, separated us at least 50 feet from each other, and told us to meditate on the Bible until they tell us to come back. I'm pretty sure we were out there for at least 8 hours, but I'm not sure.
Horrifying.
I replied, "You're giving us some good, not in that way, content." I feel like I've heard so much more, well, obviously now because we're all becoming adults and we're all opening up about what happened, but shit like that happened so much, I feel like, to people, whether it was like a cult or those like camps, the like wilderness camps.
Yeah.
That if you get abducted to go to a camp, it's not a camp.
No.
Like,
if you're taken there,
if you're forced
against your own free will,
none of your friends know where you are, you just disappear one day, it's not camp. I feel like organized religion in any way is cultish. So the jump from it being kind of under the radar to it going to like what I just read, I feel like could happen so quickly. Because it already has that energy.
Yeah.
And like people in the place of power want that kind of power.
Yeah.
So all you need is like a few people that
if you
desire community and are vulnerable.
Yeah. And if you have people that are already that dedicated to their religion, it wouldn't be hard to like get them to take it one step further. It'd probably be a real easy.
Well, and then once you're there and everyone around you is like, yeah, this is, and then it's being in a toxic relationship with a narcissist.
Yeah.
Whether that's one-on-one or in a group setting, it's the same type of manipulation of like, when it's good, it's so good. But when it's bad. Because like, I think that way about some of my old relationships that I was in, of like when I watched Priscilla for the first time, I was like, I get that woman on such a deep level. It's like, because when it's good, it's literally like you feel like everything in life clicks and makes sense and everything is so fucking amazing. But then it gets so bad so fast. And I have never been in a cult like that, but I feel like it could be like that.
It feels like a really
are probably really fucking
comparison.
good, and your community might be really fucking amazing.
Well, and something you hadn't mentioned yet is when people are in those kind of relationships and they come to that like awakening of, oh wait, like actually this is unhealthy. the style of manipulation makes it so hard to get out.
Yeah.
And then especially when you turn it into a group situation, I think, and then you're surrounded by either people that are like telling you, no, this is great, this is normal, and like kind of gaslighting you into thinking that you're wrong for thinking this is wrong. And then you have whoever's in charge, the cult leader, that sees every little like hint, like that comes on their radar so quick of like, oh, this person is not being obedient in the way I've taught them to be, I've known them to be, I see everyone else being, and then they find a different way to manipulate you and like get in your way of getting out.
Yeah, and like using the people around you to assist. Like imagine if you grow up within one with your parents in it. Because then not only is your like authoritative figure manipulating your day-to-day, but then when you do come to those realizations, it's like, Mom, I feel blah, blah, blah. And then they just like shoot it down. And
yeah, the person that you're supposed to be able to trust.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you know what that made me think of is like Amish communities.
Yeah.
I'm not like super educated in the Amish.
We don't have a lot of that over here.
But it makes me think of like, from what I do know is if you decide to leave, like you're excommunicated. But like that's a form of manipulation too. So if I like am growing up and I genuinely decide like, okay, this lifestyle isn't for me, and like maybe even my parents are like being supportive of it, but are like, just so you know, like you decide to do this, like we cannot speak to you. And all of that story was insane, but the no music?
I know.
No music. I actually, I don't know. I don't know if I could live in a world with no music.
Sorry if we played light at your intense story, because that isn't funny. That's a very serious thing. But we have dark humor, and that's the only way I know how to talk about things. Ew.
What?
The story's gross. Okay, so I came home from work the other day, and every day I'm greeted at the door by our dog named Dude. I picked him up.
Dude.
I picked him up, and he kisses my face. I kiss him back and carry him up the stairs, hugging and kissing him. As I get to the top of the stairs, my boyfriend yells from down the hall, "Don't let Dude kiss you." I say, "What?" He was just eating poop in the backyard. Then I realized Dude's breath smells funny. I drop him like a brick and run to the bathroom. That is so gross.
That's disgusting. Don't let Dude kiss you.
That's quite the topic change, but ew.
Oh my god. So imagine if the boyfriend hadn't been home and nobody knew.
Okay, there's a few short ones that I'll just read off. Someone said, went on a date where the guy tried to take me on a hike in the woods at night. Sorry, what?
Did they go on the date?
I know, should I reply?
Like, I wouldn't even go on a date with them after that.
I'm gonna reply.
Even if
Let's
I
see
was
if they
like,
reply
I don't
quick.
want to do that. And they pitch something else, I'd be like, I'm not going on a date with you at all. How ignorant do you have to be
Sorry.
to ask a woman that doesn't know you, doesn't trust you, to go on a hike?
Yeah, let's see if they replied, because I asked. Give us more deeds.
I've got to know.
Another person said, thoughts out to you because their house did burn down, but that their family bullied them on Facebook the day that their house went on fire and then blocked them. You guys, are you okay? We got cults. We got someone almost probably getting killed in the woods. We got family being assholes, and we got dog shit.
You know
what's going on?
And we got dog shit. You know what's so crazy is, like, that person whose house burned down. Obviously, at the time, I had no idea that was going on with their family.
Yeah.
And this is why I hate the narrative of, like, their family. You have to love them. You have to, like, love them no matter what, whatever. I think that's such BS. Because that person probably got more of an outpouring of love from the Discord, more help from the Discord than they did from their own
family.
That's a good
not
point.
Family
Generally. I don't know about the rest of your family. I don't mean to be making assumptions, but I mean particularly these people on Facebook.
No, that's a good point because
like these strangers are being kinder to you than your family.
Why did I just have a heart attack?
That was a close call.
Like when this person, because they're obviously in the group, shared with us the situation, I'm like, everyone was like, "What can we do? Like let's get you donations.
Let's get donations. Do you have a GoFundMe?"
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like none of us knew about the family shit. Something's happening. Oh, that person's responding. Oh, giving us more context.
Yes.
This is fun. This is like live. It's like we have callers calling in.
Yeah.
She said, because I asked, did you go? This is the person on the guy trying to take her on a hike. No, I refused to get out of the car. Then he tried to take me to get fried chicken and parked in a handicap spot. Let's change that to disabled. In a disabled spot when he is not disabled. I also found out that he liked to play with rifles in his backyard and lied about his age. He then tried to tell me he wasn't interested the next day after I'd already unmatched him on Tinder.
That's just like red flag after red flag after red flag. Dating apps can be so horrifying. Like if this person wasn't like paying enough attention or like didn't have their guard up. I mean, I think there are people out there, women out there that still wouldn't even think twice about that. Like, oh, you want to
would have gone on
you
want
to take me on a hike? Yeah, like sure.
Sorry, could it be me?
Like what?
Fucking hilarious.
Maybe this is why we don't get any good like date stories because we screen our people so heavily.
This is why like I guess I need to start doing this shit just for the pod. Like I need to go on some crazy dates just to tell the stories.
Yeah. I have 0 crazy dates.
Ugh. Honestly, dating is so like icky to me.
I think about that quite often.
It's gross. Like ew.
I want to be in a relationship. I don't want to do any of the things that are going to get me to that. Because it just makes me like cringe.
Literally, you know what's so funny is like I love listening to like podcasts or like watching influencers that live in other countries like date. It's a different culture in life than here. Like the only time I could see myself being like, ooh, dating, this is fun, is if I lived in like London. And like it's just like easy there. Like the stories that people tell and just like you hop on the tube. There's no like driving, pickup, leaving thing. You grab a coffee. There's so many people. Then you meet up with your friends. Like it's, I don't know. Here I just can't.
I think it's the commutable city thing that changes
And I think it's the people. Like.
Yeah.
Sorry, Portland.
The options.
Like. What is the dating here? It's shit.
It's horrible.
We could do a whole episode on me ranting about that. Not that I'm really trying, though. Like, I'm not. Like, I haven't tried to date. But from my, like...
As someone that has tried, it sucks.
Well, maybe it's because of... Maybe
you know,
it's because
through me.
It's you. Like, I...
Well, and like Jessie, too.
Just outside
like
looking in. That's true. I guess I just have heard a lot of people talk about it. And I'm like, yeah, dating does suck here. So maybe I shouldn't talk shit unless I've tried it. But I just think that... Like, ugh. I think it's because, too, like, we've talked on here too about like going out and I'm like looking around the room like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this? No offense.
That's why that's why it's hard here because you feel obligated to be on dating apps because you've been conditioned through media to think that you can just walk into a bar and have all these options and you fucking don't.
No, that's
what you don't.
That's what I honestly think you hit the nail on the head there with like because when I say London and like cities like that, it's also because you're probably not meeting people off dating apps. You're just like going out with your friends and having fun and doing things and living your life, and then you meet people. Mm-hmm. So then it's like, dating's fun.
And it makes a first date way less horrifying when you've met the person in some other way. Like if I met you at the bar and we like had a good conversation, even if it wasn't for long, we talked 5-10 minutes, exchange numbers, we're going to go on a date. Like I'm going to feel way less anxious. I'm going to feel like, okay, I already know some things about you, like the way I have to like screen people on dating apps for like a week or two. I just did in a 5 to 10 minute conversation. I know what you look like.
How they dress, how they like.
I don't have to worry so much about how to say hi to you. Like,
yeah. And if they're out with their friends, you can see how they kind of interact with people. Mm-hmm. Like if you're with your friends or they interact with them. Like we were just talking to our friend about how I genuinely think the best screener, if you're like dating someone, is bringing them around your friends, but also being around that
Their
person's
friends.
friends. How does that person treat you in front of their friends? How does that person treat your friends? Like,
so this
telling.
is like the ultimate scenario is you're out with your friends, they're out with their friends, and then it turns into like a group night out. Your groups combine.
Literally.
And then the whole night you're like flirty or whatever. You know how they act with your friends. Flirty or whatever. Story time.
I was meeting a guy in person for the first time after chatting online for about 3 months. Whoa, 3 months.
Whoa, baby.
After the first glance, he said, so in person first date, he said, "You're uglier in real life. Your photos are stunning, though."
That's so fucked up. I'm so sorry.
Was too stunned to speak.
Literally.
Because I literally would just...
I might actually say that.
I know.
Because I only speak in quotes. I'd be like...
The woman was too stunned to speak. Which would be so iconic. Honestly, I'd probably just... It'd probably take me 30 seconds of just like... What? Like...
Yeah. Wanting to start talking.
Yeah,
and
but
having no words.
like, what? How do you even respond to something like that? I'd be like, okay, so fuck you. You don't deserve to even look at my face. Shove your head up your own asshole. And then I'd walk away.
I feel like I would just walk away. I wouldn't even say anything.
I think that I don't think I would be able to say something as good as what I just said because I'd be so... But I think that I'd almost laugh. Not in like a, oh, you're funny way, but in like a like awkward way because like, I just laugh
when someone says something that makes you uncomfortable. Yeah.
And then I would walk away like, well, I really hope you didn't give that person another chance.
Yeah. That's fucked.
What's funny is anytime like you ask like tell us funny stories or specifically dating, if you ask people like tell me your craziest dating stories, like it's always about men doing weird shit.
That's so
it's
true.
always about, not always, I mean maybe we've told a story or two about women on the Reddit ones, but like most of the time it's men. Okay, let me set the stage. First date with a new guy.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's gonna come pick you up. Who
Dun,
pulls
dun,
up to the house to pick you up? His mother. She drove us to the restaurant, dropped them
How
off.
old are they?
He didn't have a license. There's no age, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about grown people.
How do you get out of that? I wouldn't want to get in that car.
You'd have to. You just have to go on the date probably. Imagine you get in the car with your date and their mother, like they're your driver for the night. Honestly, if at first I would assume it was like an Uber. You know? Like, oh.
Until you get in the car and they're like, oh, this is my mom.
What are your thoughts on if someone doesn't have a license? Would that be like a red flag to you?
No, I think it just depends on the reasoning. Like, do you not have a license because you got a DUI? That's a red flag.
But why don't you have a license?
Do you not have a license because you
we're like in our mid-20s, so like why don't you have a license?
You grew up in a family where no one had the time or energy or effort to teach you how to drive or the money to take you to the DMV and pay for you to get a driver's license.
How much was it to get a license?
I don't know, not very much, but some people don't have any.
No, I know. I just don't even remember it being a price. I don't even remember the price. So I was curious.
I have no idea. I feel like I have the number 180 in my head, and I don't know why.
I
think I just like arbitrarily picked that number.
That seems like a lot, but I don't know. But if you're a teenager, that's not a red flag at all because of those instances.
Yeah.
But if it's been 10 years, why don't you have a license? Maybe
they just haven't had one and haven't felt the need for one.
I think if you were living anywhere in the world, I would not judge you. If you're living here, I'm not. That's weird to me. Like, I think that's a red flag. Because why?
I just would, like, have to know.
Because there has to be a reason. That's why it's a red flag to me. Because there has to be a weird reason. Because why don't you have a license? Unless you live in New York City. Unless you live in London.
Maybe they live off of, like...
And you don't need to have a car.
And they work in a walking or biking distance.
But you still have a license, though.
And you're right by the bus stop, and
but you still have a license, though.
You don't need to have a license.
So many people don't have cars, have licenses because they're your ID.
But if you've never had, well, I guess when you think about it like ID, then
it's your weird. ID. You can get an ID that's not for driving, but that's like most
but
people
then at
have
that
an
point,
ID.
If I'm paying to get an ID, I didn't think about it that way.
Like, why don't you, I'm not saying you have to have a car or have to drive. I literally don't care. But why don't you have a license? That's weird.
Yeah, if I'm an adult and I'm gonna pay for an ID, I'm just gonna like pay to get the license.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who doesn't have like just an ID like that.
I don't even know what just an ID looks like.
Me neither. I think it's sketching me out because there isn't an explanation. That's why I'd be like, oh, no reason, I just don't have one. But why? That's what I'd be like.
But
what are you not
more.
telling me? I would like probably assume that you have DUIs.
I would probably assume that too.
Well, there's a lot of really weird dates. I feel like anytime we're talking about crazy stories, they end up being about dating.
Yeah. Because men are crazy.
Yeah. Well,
that was a lot.
I don't really know. I always say this. And I'm like, I always say this like, I don't know what that was, but like I genuinely don't. Like that's not a lot.
That one, I think I mean that like so. Like, I mean from the bottom of my heart,
deeply.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what it was. But that's just what we do here. We change lives. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the It's Time podcast. Oh my god, I did it!
You did it!
So thank you so much. Definitely go check us out and follow us on TikTok at itstimepod. Having some fun with that. On Instagram, Portland Girls, Gays, and Nays is so amazing, and the community is great, and you should definitely be a part of it. Lots of fun things coming up, and yeah.
And we're
I don't know. We're just doing it, all the things. So, appreciate. I'm Mariah. That is Kaylee. New episodes every Wednesday. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate.